Manchester United supporters have another exciting young talent to keep an eye on as the club prepares to complete the signing of Colombian midfielder Cristian Orozco next month. While many fans are focused on big-money transfers and established stars, Manchester United continue to work behind the scenes to secure some of the most promising young talents from around the world. Cristian Orozco is the latest example of that strategy. The young Colombian midfielder has been on United's radar for quite some time. In fact, the agreement for his transfer was reached several months ago. However, because Orozco was still only 17 years old, regulations prevented him from officially completing the move to Old Trafford until he turned 18. Now that moment is finally approaching, and Manchester United are set to welcome one of Colombia's brightest young prospects to the club. For many supporters, Cristian Orozco may not yet be a familiar name. Unlike some transfer targets who dominate headlines for months, Orozco has developed quietly in Colombia. However, those who have followed youth football closely understand why United have invested in him. Orozco currently plays for Fortaleza CIF in Colombia. Although still a teenager, he has already gained valuable experience around first-team football. During the recent season, he was included in numerous senior matchday squads and gained opportunities to make appearances in Colombia's top division. Those experiences may seem small, but for a player of his age they are extremely important. Playing alongside experienced professionals helps accelerate development and prepares young players for bigger challenges ahead. One of the key reasons Manchester United became interested in Orozco was his performances for Colombia's under-17 national team. The defensive midfielder played a major role as Colombia reached the final of the South American Under-17 Championship. Competing against some of the best young talent from across the continent, Orozco showed maturity, composure, and tactical intelligence beyond his years. Scouts from several clubs were impressed by his performances during that tournament. Manchester United were among those paying close attention, and they moved quickly to position themselves ahead of potential competition. The club clearly believes Orozco has the qualities needed to eventually reach first-team level. What makes him particularly interesting is his profile as a defensive midfielder. Modern football places enormous importance on players who can protect the defense while also contributing to build-up play. Teams need midfielders who can win possession, read danger, break up attacks, and distribute the ball effectively. From the reports coming out of Colombia, those are some of the qualities that have helped Orozco stand out at such a young age. His positional awareness allows him to intercept passes and break up opposition attacks. He is comfortable receiving the ball under pressure and shows confidence when starting moves from deep areas. These qualities have led many observers to describe him as one of the most exciting young midfield prospects emerging from Colombia. Interestingly, Manchester United did not simply sign Orozco and wait for his arrival. The club has already made efforts to help him understand what life at Old Trafford will be like. Back in December, Orozco traveled to Manchester and was given a tour of Carrington and Old Trafford. During that visit, he had the opportunity to experience the environment that could shape the next phase of his career. He was also introduced to aspects of the academy setup and observed training sessions involving youth teams. For a teenager growing up in Colombia, that experience must have been unforgettable. Imagine walking through the corridors of one of the biggest football clubs in the world and seeing firsthand where legends have trained and developed. It is exactly the type of experience that can motivate a young player to work even harder. Manchester United's pursuit of Orozco also highlights an important shift in the club's recruitment strategy. Since Ineos gained control of football operations, there's been a clear emphasis on identifying talented young players with high potential. Rather than focusing only on expensive superstar signings, the club is looking to build a stronger foundation for the future. This approach aims to find players before their value explodes on the global market. If these young talents develop successfully, they can either strengthen the first team or become valuable assets for the club in the future. From a financial perspective, it is considered a relatively low-risk strategy with potentially huge rewards. Supporters have already seen similar moves in recent years. Sekou Kone joined Manchester United from Mali after impressing at youth international level. Diego Leon arrived from Paraguay after attracting attention with his performances in South America. Now Cristian Orozco joins that growing list of young prospects being recruited from outside Europe. This international recruitment strategy has become increasingly important following Brexit. The regulations surrounding the signing of young European players changed significantly, making it more difficult for English clubs to recruit talent from European countries. As a result, Manchester United have expanded their scouting networks into South America, Africa, and other regions where elite young talents continue to emerge. The club believes there is tremendous value in identifying players before they become household names. Cristian Orozco fits that profile perfectly. He is talented enough to attract attention, but still young enough to be developed within United's system. Of course, supporters should remain patient. History shows that not every highly rated teenager immediately becomes a first-team star. The transition from youth football to senior football is one of the most challenging steps in the sport. New country, new culture, new language, and higher levels of competition can all create obstacles for young players. Manchester United understand this, which is why there is no expectation that Orozco will immediately feature for the senior team. Instead, the focus will likely be on helping him adapt gradually. He may begin by working within the academy structure, gaining experience with youth teams and development squads before potentially earning opportunities at higher levels. This pathway has been followed successfully by many young players in the past. The key objective is to ensure that development happens at the right pace. Rushing young talents can sometimes do more harm than good. What will encourage supporters is the fact that United scouts clearly believe Orozco possesses something special. The competition for elite young talents has never been greater. Clubs across Europe invest heavily in scouting networks, data analysis, and talent identification. When Manchester United decide to secure a player this early in his career, it usually reflects strong confidence in his potential. That does not guarantee success, but it certainly creates excitement. Many fans enjoy following the journeys of young prospects as they develop through the ranks. There is something particularly rewarding about watching a teenager arrive with potential and eventually become a first-team player. Manchester United's history is built on youth development. From the Busby Babes to the class of '92 and beyond, the club has always believed in giving opportunities to talented young players. That tradition remains an important part of the club's identity. Cristian Orozco now has the opportunity to become part of that story. The coming months will be crucial as he settles into life in Manchester and begins working with coaches who will help shape his future. Supporters should not expect immediate headlines or first-team appearances. Instead, they should view this signing as an investment in the future. The club sees a player with talent, potential, and the attributes required to succeed at a high level. Whether he eventually becomes a first-team regular will depend on his development, work ethic, and ability to adapt. However, the fact that Manchester United have worked on this deal for months demonstrates how highly they rate him. As the transfer window continues, attention will naturally focus on major signings and established stars. Yet sometimes the most important deals are the ones that receive less attention. Cristian Orozco may not be a household name today, but Manchester United clearly believe he has the ability to become one in the future. For now, supporters can look forward to welcoming another exciting young talent to Old Trafford and following his journey as he takes the next step in his career. The future is never guaranteed in football, but Cristian Orozco arrives in Manchester with a chance to write his own chapter in the history of one of the biggest clubs in the world.